Let us together say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are pleased to invite Olivia Bogard, City Manager Alan Bogard's granddaughter and 2018 winner of the Sugar Land Junior Superstar Competition, to the stage to lead us to our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
At this time, please join me in welcoming Father Uriel Manzano of St. Teresa Catholic Church for an invocation.
Let us pray. Loving and gracious God, we thank you for gathering us here together, that we might enjoy one another's company, and also that we might look forward to the many good things you have in store for us as members of Chamber of Commerce, as leaders in business, as faithful citizens and residents of the city of Sugar Land. We ask your blessing to be upon our presenters today. We ask also that you bless our families and our friends, that we might continue to build a communion of life, of love, and peace amongst our brothers and sisters. We ask that you give us hearts filled with gratitude for the many gifts that you have given us, and also hearts that recognize the many sacrifices that have been made by our forebears, our parents, our grandparents, that we might enjoy the life that we do. We ask that you also give us hearts that are virtuous, that we might attend to the needs of the poor and vulnerable in our midst. And so, Lord, as we gather together in this lunch, we ask that the food that has been provided and the hands that have prepared it might nourish our bodies as you nourish our hearts and our souls. And so we recognize that every good and perfect gift comes from you, O Father, and so we give praise and glory to you and ask your blessing to be upon all of us and our fellowship today. For you live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Mayor Joe Zimmerman was elected the 10th mayor of Sugar Land on June 11, 2016. After serving 4 years as the at-large position 2 city councilman, he currently serves on the Economic Development Committee, Intergovernmental Relations Committee, Land Use Task Force, Sugar Land Development Corporation Board, and as the City of Sugar Land representative on the Houston-Galveston Area Council Board and Transportation Policy Council. Prior to being elected to City Council, he was a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission for 8 years, serving 6 years as chairman. I'm also going to introduce City Manager Alan Bogard, who's going to come in after Our mayor, city manager Alan Bogard, has been with the city of Sugar Land for over 20 years and has served as city manager since 2001. He brings over 40 years of municipal experience to the position with past roles in Keller, Winsboro, Plano, and Dallas. As the city works to implement the council members' vision for Sugar Land, his leadership has contributed to the city being recognized as one of the best and safest places to live in the entire country. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome City of Sugar Land Mayor Joe Zimmerman and City Manager Alan Bogard.
Thank you.
I'm going to move this out of the way. You don't need to.
Welcome to the 2019 Sugar Land State of the City. Before I begin, I want to thank the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce for their partnership in hosting this event. I'd also like to thank our own Police Honor Guard for the presentation of the colors, Father Manzano from St. Teresa Catholic Church for the invocation, and finally, Olivia Bogard for her rendition of the national anthem. And I'd like to thank my wife of 43 years, Nancy, for joining me here today. Nancy. As you all know, City Council, there are 7 of us on City Council, and nothing gets done without the support of City Council. The mayor doesn't do this, Alan doesn't do this, your City Council does this. I'd like to introduce our City Council members. Himesh Gandhi, at-large, position 1. Jennifer Lane, at-large, position 2. Steve Porter from District 1. Bridget Young, our Mayor Pro Tem in District 2. Amy Mitchell from District 3. And Carol McCutcheon from District 4. You know, and when you look at how the city's grown over all these many years, it's not just because of the current City Council. We've got many of our former mayors and City Council members that are here today, and I'd ask them to stand and be recognized. I'd also like to thank the mayors of not only Fort Bend County, but I know we've got one mayor from here from Harris County, and I'd like them to stand and please be recognized. And of course, without the support of our executive team, we'd have a little bit of a problem in executing our vision. I'd like to ask our city manager, Alan Bogard, to stand and be recognized. Our assistant city managers, Doug Brinkley, Jennifer May, and Chris Stubing. You know, it takes a lot of staff to make our vision and make our budget and all that we've accomplished, and you're going to hear about that today. I also want to thank all of you for being here today and for our sponsors. We are extraordinarily proud of what we've accomplished in 2018 and what's ahead for 2019. We've prepared a short video to highlight some of our greatest accomplishments in 2018. We're going to play that for you now.
Annexing Brakewood and New Territory increased the size and the population of the city by over 30% in one evening. It was an effort that required a lot of work by all the city departments. It required more than a year in preparation and completion of something that was more than 10 years in planning. It's been highly successful. We had a very smooth transition. The successful annexation was a result of having really good people that worked really hard to make it happen and having the great fortune of being able to annex a lot of really good folks.
We're very excited here in the city of Sugar Land because firearms training is one of the most important training aspects of a police officer's career. And this is the first time in over 10 years we've actually had our own range where we can maximize our training efforts. And by doing that, we're creating a safer city and we're protecting our citizens, and we're very excited to be here.
After Hurricane Harvey, the city of Sugar Land initiated drainage studies in areas that were impacted by the hurricane. We have identified 18 different drainage projects that were included in the FY19-23 CIP. At this time, we have completed one of those drainage projects and we are going to initiate construction in the spring 2019. Additionally, we are already under design for 4 different projects. The city also has identified additional funding from FEMA to install 28 rain and flood gauges in different parts of the city. These are just some of the different projects that the city has undertaken to make the city safer during the next storm.
We're so excited about the launch of 3-in-1 this past year. We've helped over 46,000 people, and we can't wait to see what happens next year.
You know, through our citizen satisfaction survey, our residents spoke and it was loud and clear. Mobility and congestion was our top-rated issue that we needed to address. So therefore, the city's making a substantial investment into traffic improvements, roadway improvements, with the purpose of improving traffic and congestion throughout the city and promoting better mobility.
So after 5 years of work and citizen engagement, the land use plan was approved in 2018. Its policies will help guide the city in decision making on land use issues well into the future for the next decades to come, all with the goal of protecting single family neighborhoods and ensuring Sugar Land continues on the Sugar Land way into the future.
Before I go any further, I'd also like to recognize our Fort Bend County Judge. I believe he had to leave. Our current commissioners, many of them, I think all of them are in the audience. If you all would please stand, and former commissioners. James, I know you're here too. And last but certainly not least, my colleagues at Half Associates, without whose help I would not be able to be the mayor of Sugar Land. So, to Half. What an exciting year we had. In looking forward, your city council recently agreed on a set of priorities that help us focus on what's truly important to our community. Known as the Sugar Land Way, these priorities are designed to make life sweeter and more refined for the people and businesses that call Sugar Land home. These priorities include an overarching commitment to good governance, ensuring that Sugar Land remains safer than ever by building upon years of investments in facilities and public safety, managing aging infrastructure and facilities at the highest level which is expected by our residents, and retaining and challenging the city's championship workforce, constantly improving the appearance of our community, and last but not least, building upon Sugar Land's strong economic position and financial leadership that allows the city to improve its quality of life while minimizing our residents' tax burden. Because the Sugar Land Way priorities are so important to us, you'll hear them mentioned throughout my presentation and also in Alan's. Let's start with what I call the glue that holds the Sugar Land Way together, good governance. One way we demonstrate our good governance is by recognizing and honoring Sugar Land's history and heritage. As you may know, our city was incorporated in 1959, which means we're coming up on our 60th anniversary. The Sugar Land area has a rich history, even before our city was officially incorporated. It's just one of the many things that make Sugar Land such a unique and special place. The recent discovery of 95 unmarked graves on a Fort Bend ISD construction site in the Telfair area was an unprecedented moment for our community. We recognize the significance of this discovery and the importance of honoring those individuals who were found with the utmost dignity. We are committed to preserving that history and continuing to document and tell the story of Sugar Land. Let's take a moment to look back to a little bit of our history.
Sugar cane, he was looking for his liking. As he roamed along, he hummed the song of a plan of milk and honey, where a bum can stay for many a day and he won't need any money. Yoodly, yoodly, ooly. Oh, the buzzing of the bees and the cigarette trees and the soda water fountain. The lemonade springs while the bluebird sings in the big rock candy mountain. Yoodly, yoodly, ooly. Holy, yoly, holy, holy. Holy, yoly, holy, holy. Holy, yoly, holy. There's a lake of gin you can all jump in and the handout throw in bunches. In a new mown hay you can sleep all day and the bars all have free lunches. Where the mail train stops and there ain't no cops and the folks are tender-hearted. There you'll meet Bill Cox with his pocket full of rocks, for I know that's where he started. Yoodly, yoodly, ooly. Holy, yoly, holy, holy. Holy, yoly, holy, holy. Holy, yoly, holy. Oh, the buzzing of the bees and the cigarette trees and the soda water fountain.
If you are interested in learning more about our history, please consider visiting the City of Sugar Land, the Sugar Land Heritage Museum and Visitor Center, which is celebrating 1 year in operation. It's located over at 198 Kempner Street at the former Imperial Sugar Refinery site. Fast forwarding to today, we are now the most diverse city in the most diverse county in the United States of America. With residents of all ages and backgrounds, we have a responsibility to communicate in a way that fosters citizen engagement, builds trust, and inspires pride in our city. The way cities communicate with the public is rapidly evolving, as many of you know, because of technology. Social media has fundamentally changed the game in how we engage with our residents and business community. How many of you here own, and I know the answer, own one of these? This is increasingly how we as Sugar Land access not only our residents, but the information that they need. Because of this, we've begun to focus on a variety of digital tools to connect with our residents. Check out some of the ways that we connect with you in our community.
Hey Sugar Land, I'm Kayla Lawhoff and I'm in community engagement for the City of Sugar Land, and I'm here with my friend Diego.
And so we are streaming live on Facebook now, and they're listening to the words that I'm saying. So welcome to everybody on Facebook Live too.
Hi there, Sugar Land. I'm Cindy Dees. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for the City of Sugar Land, and I'm coming to you live from City Hall here at Town Center.
Hey, Sugar Land! Hey, Sugar Land, why is there water coming out of my fire hydrant?
So apparently, if you tell a 5-year-old you're moving to a place called Sugar Land, they freak right out. It's not only kids, it's really everybody.
Do you know where your water comes from in Sugar Land? It's more tricky than you think.
Robot time! Who gave him that cardboard? Ruining a beautiful morning.
Do you have a can on the other end of this string? This is the mayor listening.
Hello, my name is Alan Bogard. I'm the city manager for the City of Sugar Land, and I'm here today with Jennifer Brown, the city's director of finance.
All right, stay sweet, Sugar Land.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Sweetheart, we put that in because I know that's how you think I listen to you sometimes. It's through a can in a string. While we want you to follow Facebook, Twitter, Nextdoor, Instagram, and YouTube, we recognize that there is no one size fits all for us to communicate. Face-to-face interactions with our community can't be understated. This is where we really connect one-on-one and build relationships. The City Council and I attend a variety of community events throughout the year, and we have a robust citizen engagement program with numerous citizen academies. One example of this is Sugarland 101. Because citizen engagement is so important to us, we have asked the 102 residents who volunteer on our 14 very active citizen boards, commissions, committees, and task forces to join us here today. If you are a member of one of our many boards and commissions, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you all for joining us here today and for your service to our city. As you can see from the number of people that stood, we are active and engaged with our community. Sugarland would not be what it is today without the critical participation of the leaders such as you. Civic participation is so important, especially at our local level. There is no government that is closer to the community than your elected leaders. Fort Bend ISD, City of Sugarland, the Muds, the Lids, were the closest ones to the people. Annexation of Greatwood and New Territory increased our population by 30,000 residents in 2018, requiring the city's single-member city council districts to be redrawn. For this exercise, we enlisted the help of the Citizen-Led Redistricting Advisory Committee to recommend the new boundaries for our 4 city council districts. These boundaries are the same boundaries that people will need to look to when they vote in the May 4th election that's coming up. And this will be the first time that the newly annexed areas, Greatwood and New Territory, will vote for their single-member district members. Some of our past elections have been decided by a margin of 100 or fewer votes. Actually, 1 vote. I was on the recount committee. We encourage, and Amy, I didn't mention you, sorry. We encourage every eligible Sugarland resident to do their part and vote. It's critically important. Not only is 2019 important for Sugarland, but it's a big year for cities in Texas. On January the 8th, our state legislature convened the 86th session. This year, we know that some of the key issues are revenue caps and school finance reform. You may have heard me talk about that the last 2 times I've delivered a State of the City. Our legislative agenda this year seeks to support meaningful reductions to the overall tax burden by adequately funding schools, protecting exemptions, and reducing unfunded mandates. As an example, we will oppose any legislation that seeks to impose a 2.5% revenue cap, which would result not only in a shortfall of funding for the city services, but which would also be the equivalent of losing 9 public safety personnel. This means our city would have to cut services or reduce service levels, threatening public safety and infrastructure funding. With the help of our City Council's Intergovernmental Relations Committee, our city is focused on getting back to partnering with the state of Texas and to address and solve these issues. And I would tell all of you here, there is no more powerful message than to get a letter from the residents that elect those officials, the same as it is for me. That is a powerful message, and we need the public to weigh in. Our overall goal is to maintain local control, to make local decisions that are beneficial to our residents' interests. City finances are very important, especially when it comes to our ability to achieve our #1 goal, which is keeping our residents safe. To ensure we continue to offer first-rate emergency services, we are conducting an organizational assessment of our Public Safety Dispatch Center this year. We proactively conduct these assessments throughout our city departments to foster continuous improvement. In 2018 alone, our dispatch center processed over 88,000 police calls and more than 9,800 fire and EMS calls. Of those, our public safety professionals responded to 203 life and death emergency calls. When it comes to emergencies, we don't just react to them, we prepare for them. The images you see in this video are footage of an active shooter training simulation performed by our fire, EMS, and police teams at the Sugar Land Regional Airport. This training is just one example of how we prepare for emergencies. Our residents and business owners can rest assured that they have an outstanding group of first responders prepared and equipped to protect them. We are excited and ready to continue to build on these proactive efforts. The recent internal promotion of Battalion Chief Doug Boker as our new fire chief means our fire and EMS department is implementing new strategies to achieve the city's goal of the safest city in America. We look forward to more great things to come under his leadership. Chief Boker, will you please stand and be recognized? At the same time, we are taking significant steps to improve our public safety facilities. Our budget this year includes $1.4 million in funding for a 22-acre public safety training facility. This facility will provide a local training site that includes gun range upgrades, a modular burn prop for fire training, just like the one pictured here. Additionally, since last July, our interim gun range, seen here, has been put to use for training and firearms qualification opportunities for our police officers, including our SWAT team training. I actually did this too, and it wasn't pretty. And finally this year, our capital improvement program includes the design of a new and improved dispatch and emergency operations center. The Ops Center acts as the city's headquarters during minor and major emergency situations such as Hurricane Harvey. It's these types of investments that ensure that Sugar Land is safer than ever before. In fact, 2018 was the lowest crime rate in the city of Sugar Land on record. And this was not by any accident. It's a product of a strong police presence, community partnerships with you all, public education, a commitment to technology such as license plate recognition cameras, training, and exceptional departmental leadership. We are proud that another one of our own, Chief Eric Robbins, moved up the ranks from patrol officer in 1992 to become our new Chief of Police in 2018. Thank you, Eric. And prior to becoming chief, he created special enforcement teams to target and handle specific high crime patterns throughout our city, as well as initiatives to increase police visibility and expand crime analysis, efforts that have paid great dividends for a lower crime rate. Eric, we look forward to your continued leadership and contributions in our community. We continue to make strides in using innovative technology to keep our citizens safe. We were once again nationally recognized as the top 10 digital city by the Center for Digital Government in 2018 for using technology to tackle challenges and enhance the quality of life in every part of our community. According to our latest citizen satisfaction survey, we know that mobility and traffic flow, congestion, if you will, are our citizens' #1 concern. Sugar Land's daytime population continues to grow as people come from all over the region to work in and enjoy our city. So everyone spends less time in their car and more time enjoying our city. Staff in our Traffic Management Center is helping us find innovative ways to manage congestion. The center features the latest intelligent transportation systems, allowing staff to monitor traffic in real time at all 90 of our signalized intersections and make data-driven decisions to respond to traffic conditions like accidents and road construction. We also now integrate the traffic app Waze, which allows our systems to share information back and forth with users of the app and make that information viewable on the city's ITS website. Sugar Land is on the cutting edge when it comes to traffic technology. And because we are always looking forward, an update to our Intelligent Traffic System Master Plan will be done later this year, which will prioritize those investments over the next 5 years. This plan will explore forward-thinking concepts and technologies like artificial intelligence and connected vehicles, and that's pretty cool. Because mobility is so important to our community, we anticipate spending over $26 million over the next 5 years to address street reconstruction and major rehab needs. In fact, tens of millions of dollars of mobility-related projects are currently underway across our city. Two of the largest of these include Phase 1 of the widening of Derry-Ashford. Also, we have State Highway 6, which is soon to get underway, which will increase the size of the lanes from 5 to 6. I'm happy to report that we were able to save a total of 162 of 236 trees in the construction area. The city worked diligently with TxDOT throughout the design process on Highway 6 to reduce tree removal there from 175 down to 87, preserving as much of our tree canopy as possible, which brings added value to our community. Many of our streets are getting older, and many of our streets are also getting brighter. It's a unique partnership with CenterPoint Energy. We are working to improve the safety of our neighborhoods, not just to mention the aesthetics. In 2018, 9,000 traditional streetlights in residential areas were replaced with more modern, energy-efficient LED lights. Another 3,000 decorative lights along major thoroughfares will be replaced this year, for a total replacement of 12,000 streetlights. That means we're going to have better directional lighting and longer life. The conversion's being done at no additional cost to the city. In fact, the city could see an estimated $111,000 annually, which corresponds to a 55% reduction in streetlight electrical costs. Here's a fun fact for you. Our Instagram post about our streetlight makeover was our most engaged of 2018, with lots of positive comments. I think the community agrees that the streetlight upgrades were a bright idea. However, I don't write it, folks, I just deliver it. However, the post didn't beat out the popularity of what you see here, which is our viral lip sync challenge, which was done by our police department. Eric, they did a great job. Maintenance of our regional airport is also critical to keeping our economy strong here in Sugar Land. The Sugar Land Regional Airport is recognized as one of the top fixed-base operators in the country. It was recently awarded a $12 million grant from TxDOT Aviation for the relocation and expansion of its parallel taxiway from 120 to 325 feet. This project is being undertaken to meet federal safety standards and improve the safety of our runway. The airport also began development of an entry road on the west side of the airport on 95 acres of land we purchased from the GLO in 2016. We are working on finalizing our airport master plan, which includes the development plans for these 95 acres. One of my favorite things about our airport is that it is self-sustaining. That means that no ad valorem tax dollars are used to support airport operations. Over the last couple of years, we have been diligently working on two strategic projects related to water and wastewater. First, the city invested $500,000 into the development of an integrated water resources plan. In fact, we had Citizens Task Force. Two of our council members here, Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Porter, were a part of that effort. It went on for over almost 4 years, and we appreciate not only our task force effort, but our council members' effort. This IWRP provides direction to optimize the use of our water resources for years to come in the future. For nearly it's way over 2 years, we had 13 members on this citizen task force. They provided their input to help guide our investment in these important projects. Next month, City Council will formally consider adopting the recommendations and strategies outlined in the plan, such as implementation of smart meters and infrastructure expansions. At the same time, we are planning to invest $350,000 in the update of our wastewater master plan later this year. This will ensure that we have adequate capacity to service the newly annexed areas of Greatwood and New Territory. Your city council and staff understand the investment necessary in our infrastructure and our facilities like roads and drainage to continue to function at the highest level. Years of investments in stormwater drainage infrastructure continue to protect our homes and our businesses during severe weather events, which are now becoming, unfortunately, more frequent. Since Hurricane Harvey, we've completed 5 drainage studies and embarked on an ambitious plan to address river erosion. We are working closely with our flood control partners and have secured federal funding for this priority. Let's listen to our Assistant City Manager, Chris Stubing, who has worked with the City Manager and me extensively on the erosion issue as he explains our progress in more detail.
A lot of people don't even know the river's there. Unless you're crossing 59 or the 99 bridge every day, that's when it becomes apparent to you when you see a vertical face on one of the riverbanks. Rivers meander, they migrate over time. This river's been doing this for millions of years. In this case here, we've identified those critical areas that are impacting infrastructure or some of our levee improvement districts. Understanding the extent of the erosion at this point in time, what infrastructure or other parts of the city may be jeopardized in the future as we've looked at the risk side is important for us from a planning perspective moving forward. We understand the rate of migration based off critical velocities or flows in the river now more than we ever did before, and we understand the soil conditions around it and what might be creating some of these issues that we're dealing with, like at the 59 turnaround. The current state it's being monitored, it's being looked at by several different entities on bringing awareness to the issue, but also moving forward with resiliency type projects, flood proofing type projects that will help the city and our residents and the county, as well as other stakeholders within the lower basin. Moving forward, though, our goal is looking at the next 5 to 30 years is what do we do, how do we handle that, and how do we address that as not only Sugar Land, but as Fort Bend County, as the state as a whole.
As your mayor, I've been particularly proud to lead this effort with our city council and our senior management. This is an extraordinary effort. It takes an extraordinary commitment. The dollars are in the billions, well beyond the capability of the city of Sugar Land's balance sheet, Fort Bend County, even the state of Texas. But we're committed to working with all the agencies, the Corps of Engineers, the counties, not just Fort Bend County, the Brazos River Authority, to make sure that we get this addressed. We've also involved our levee improvement districts in our MUD so that they understand the critical nature of what we're doing. Our primary goal is to be prepared for the next Hurricane Harvey. With this in mind, our city's drainage projects have been prioritized to ensure, one, that they have the most meaningful impact, and two, that we involve the right parties in order to implement those projects. Our current 5-year CIP includes $43 million in capital improvements for drainage, including a $6.6 million construction project that will improve drainage in Settlers Park, which was just one of the communities that was impacted by Hurricane Harvey. We're also focusing our efforts on our friends of the four-legged variety. Last year alone, our animal shelter facilities, Whiskerville and Barksville, had a record 829 pet adoptions. Today, we are hard at work on a project that seeks to develop a policy and program for animal services, including the expansion of our animal shelter. The new shelter is projected to be around 17,000 square feet, with a capacity to house 132 cats and 70 dogs, and will be designed to meet the expectations of our community. Long recognized a great place to live, Sugar Land has also gained a reputation as one of the top locations in the United States for business relocation and expansion. We have worked very hard to have global corporations located in our city that significantly contribute to the growth of our local economy. One of those corporations that I'd like to highlight this year is Acredo Packaging. In 2007, Acredo established their headquarters here in Sugar Land with a 345,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility that employed 350 people over in the Sugar Land Business Park. Last year, we worked with Acredo to begin a new expansion of 200,000 square feet for a new warehouse and manufacturing facility, which will bring an additional 175 jobs to our city over the next 4 years. It can't be understated, I will tell you, on Acredo, they had one foot out the door. It was because of our economic development staff, myself, Alan, our city council, that we were able to reach out, have a conversation with them, deal proactively with that, and get them to not only build phase 3, but they collapsed phase 3 and phase 4 into one phase, and that facility, I think, is under construction, if not complete. As you may recall, back in 2007, the City of Sugar Land's citizen-led Visioning Task Force identified 5 preferred entertainment and destination venues to fulfill the vision of Sugar Land as a destination. To date, the city and its private sector partners have completed 3 of the 5 destination venues, including Constellation Field, home of the 2016 and 2018 Atlantic League World Champion Sugar Land Skeeters. In our own Smart Financial Center at Sugar Land. And finally, the 3rd venue, the Crown Festival Park Festival site at Sugar Land. The 5th venue, a community cultural arts venue, is anticipated to be located within the same 22-acre project as a future hotel and convention center, which we're working right now. This will feature anywhere from a 250 to 350 room hotel and from 30,000 to 50,000 square feet of conference center space. It's envisioned to be part of an exciting mixed-use development that will include shared parking, office, retail, entertainment, and major employers such as Fluor Corporation and our current Texas Instruments headquarters. Yet another project to be completed without the use of property tax dollars. This will be an example of economic leadership through new tourism revenues that fund quality city services and help keep our tax rate among the lowest in the state. We just launched the request for statements of interest for the project on January the 18th of this year and are looking forward to receiving those proposals for this major development. The deadline for those submittals is March 15th at noon. If, and I know many of you came up to me earlier when we were doing the meet and greet, if you have questions about that, our Director of Economic Development, Elizabeth Huff, myself or Alan, any of us would be happy to visit with you about that. You can also get information on our website at sugarlandtx.gov/HotelCC, Conference Center. Smart Financial Center had its own stellar year with an attendance of more than 364,000 in 2018. It exceeded not only attendance projections, but also net new sales tax revenue in its first 2 years of operations. This one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art venue is consistently recognized. It's actually 6th in the world, as in the top 10 venue in the world in terms of revenue for facilities of its size. As I said, it's number 6. I would now like to invite our city manager and my friend Alan Bogard up to talk about his strategies for delivering value to our residents. Alan?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Each year when we have the opportunity to do this, it really reinforces my feeling of being blessed. Blessed to be in Sugar Land. And for that, I want to thank my city council, who have given me the opportunity to be able to work in the city now for 25 years and 18 years as city manager. It's a true blessing to be here. Our community is blessed, and our job at City Hall is to try to make the most of the blessings that have been bestowed upon us. So that's what we're attempting to try to do. And it's great to be with you here today to be able to accomplish that and tell you the Sugar Land story. Mayor, like you just said, the Smart Financial Center is hitting all the marks of success for a destination venue. Improving quality of life for our residents, adding to our ability to attract new businesses, and increasing sales tax revenue directly and indirectly by bringing new customers for our restaurants and hotels. At this point, I would like to, is this one not working? Okay, so should I start over again? I won't put you through that. I would like to recognize Jennifer May, Assistant City Manager. Would you please stand? Who has been instrumental in us getting the Smart Financial Center project moving forward the way that it has. Very importantly, it helps to reduce the pressure on increasing property taxes by bringing in that new revenue, just like we did when we did the Costco project or the expansion of the mall. This strategy has proven successful in increasing sales tax revenue and allowing a reduction in property taxes by a total of 18 cents over time, giving Sugar Land the second lowest property tax rate for cities with populations in our size category, 60,000 and over. Further, Sugar Land homeowners can benefit from additional reductions through our 10% homestead exemption, which is equivalent to 3 cents on the tax rate, and our over 65 exemption of $70,000, which can further reduce taxes. I'm very proud of that. This year, actually, this June, I become 65. So I get to get me one of those over 65 exemptions. It's equivalent to 6 cents savings on our tax rate. Mayor, this makes the equivalent tax rate for over 65 homeowners in Sugar Land less than 23 cents, creating a savings of over $300 per year. We need to be careful or we're going to have all the senior citizens living here. So we got to be careful we don't make too good of a deal. For several years by policy, our target for annual tax bill growth for our residents has been capped at 3%. And in practice, averaging over the last 10 years, the city has been able to maintain that target, actually 3.1%, by growing sales tax and utilizing existing flexibility granted to cities for exemptions that are now allowed by state law. And we certainly hope that the legislature leaves us with the flexibility we need to be able to do the job that we're charged with doing. It's also innovative. It's an example of some of the video stuff we've been doing for the public. However, while sales tax has grown to become the single largest revenue source in the general fund, Relying on this more volatile and elastic revenue feels like riding a roller coaster like the one you see here, with ups and downs, hard to estimate and budget. And for the general fund, this is crucial, since the expenditures are more than 70% compensation, just like police and fire salaries. This reduces resilience to economic ups and downs. So working closely with the City Council over the last year, we adopted amendments to our financial management policy statements to give direction for the financial planning that are keys to the city's financial success. The policy statements were reviewed and amended by City Council in 2018, lowering the cap that we set for sales tax funding of our general fund operations and recommitting to that 3% cap as a target for homeowner tax increases. These amendments made the city's finances more resilient, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the City Council members who worked on that policy and helped us build resiliency for our city. And I would also like to specifically recognize 2 council members who are completing their final term in office, who will leave us in May or later, depending upon what happens with runoffs. And those 2 council members are Bridget Young and Amy Mitchell. Would you please stand? 8 years contribution to their city. What more can you ask for from your residents than that? The fiscal year 2019 budget totals over $247 million, including $28 million in capital improvement projects. Not only did we change the way we budget, we also made the process more transparent and inviting for our residents. For example, we recently asked, how does each dollar get spent? So we developed this infographic, which you can access on the website, as part of our transparency and educational efforts. We're also proud to report that we closed fiscal year 2018 with a clean audit, and that all of our major funds ended the year not only in the black, but with surplus fund balances. That's financial strength. The latest citizen satisfaction survey indicates that over 2/3 of our residents are satisfied with the value they get for the dollars they pay to the city in taxes and fees. I'd also like to highlight that almost 90% of our residents believe that they live in a safe community. They feel safe here. This indicates that we're hitting the mark in balancing the service needs of our community and the cost. And the secret to our success are 800 champion employees, from police officers to accountants. With less than 7 employees per 1,000 residents, we're 25% leaner than the average of Texas cities in our size range. This demonstrates that we're lean and we're a high-performing organization. The city focuses on attracting, developing, and retaining highly skilled employees and promoting from within if possible. As you heard the mayor earlier reference our new police and fire chiefs, both internal promotions. And we've had many other internal promotions of leaders this past year. And if you will stand when I call your name, Assistant City Manager Doug Brinkley, Stacy Henderson, Director of Environmental and Neighborhood Services, Elizabeth Huff, Director of Economic Development, and Cindy Dees, Director of Public Affairs. You might notice that we're relying more on women in leadership positions in the city as time goes on because, well, they're just better than us. I mean, so let's just face it and go on. The strength of our workforce helps ensure that Sugar Land has a bright future ahead. And we're doing a pretty good job in staffing other cities as well. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of cities that are probably represented here that have been stealing some of my employees. I'm keeping an eye on you, just let you know. As the mayor mentioned, one of the city council's priorities for 2019 is improving the appearance of the city. By utilizing dollars from the 4B Corporation, the city is working on multiple projects along State Highway 6, 98, and other major roads to replace aging landscape with new hardy plants native to the Texas climate. Once we complete these projects, we're going to have planted 4,000 plants, in addition to many trees, such as 300 hardwood trees that were planted this last year by our partners from Keep Sugarland Beautiful. With over 5,200 trees along our streets, we're very proud to continue to be awarded the Tree City USA designation every year since 2011. Close collaboration between our parks, engineering, and public works departments is key when it comes to maintaining the city's urban forest. In fact, that leadership really played out well this last year as our recently approved Parks Master Plan received awards, and it basically is a model for the entire 13-county region. Work also continues on our close collaboration with the Cullinan Park Conservancy. Last November, the city broke ground on a renovation project for Cullinan Park with capital improvements totaling over $1.2 million, funded by donations, secured by the Conservancy. Underline donations. No pressure. Phase 1 improvements include enhancements like new trails and trailheads, restroom facilities, which are very important. You have to have utilities and you have to have electricity, a boardwalk, lake overlook, signage, and landscape improvements. By partnering with the private sector, First Colony Mall and Town Square Plaza are currently undergoing some exciting renovations. We're even going to have a new entranceway into our business park off of 90A with the Derry Ashford project. Thank you very much, Fort Bend County, for your partnership. We're also replacing the entranceway feature, so we're basically giving the business park a new facelift. And we've also got artwork now on our traffic boxes. The images you've seen here are part of the amazing artwork installed at the Town Festival Park Overlook. Beautiful, and if you haven't had the opportunity to go to the park, go and appreciate the beautiful artwork that has been completed there. We're excited about all these enhancements to the appearance of our community. We're certainly contribute to our quality of life. Now I'd like to ask the mayor to come up and join me, and I think he has some announcements.
Mine may work. My voice will carry. Thank you, Alan. This is an exciting time for us as we continue to find ways to exceed expectations, address new challenges and opportunities, and work together. Sugarland is a special place, but don't just take it from me. I'd like to share a sneak peek of a very exciting project that we're working on in celebration of our 60th anniversary.
Sugarland's just been the ideal place to raise a family and really live our lives. And now I even think about when we're going to retire, and my wife says, why would we ever leave here?
And one of the main reasons why I moved to Sugarland in 2007 was primarily because it was voted as one of the best cities to live in and raise children.
Sugarland is special because it has all we need to grow our business here.
A place to be, to enjoy dynamic and multicultural community.
And Sugarland's been able to give us that quality of life that we were looking for.
There's literally nothing that's come up in the city that we haven't been able to accomplish if we set our minds to it. That's what's special about Sugarland, and that's what makes Sugarland what we are today. Now that some of my friends and I have told you why we think Sugarland is so special, soon it will be your turn. Just follow our official City of Sugarland social media pages and our website for details on how you can submit your own video. We will reveal a compilation of the videos we receive on our actual 60th birthday on December 29th of this year. And don't worry, if you're a bit camera shy, there'll be many more fun things planned. Before we go, Alan and I would like to reveal our official 60th anniversary logo, which was selected unanimously by our city council. You are the first group to see it, so drum roll, please. You'll be seeing this logo make appearances in many surprising places this year. I want to give a quick shout out to Austin Pennington, our graphic designer who designed this logo. I'd also like to thank our staff, Doug Adolph, Jake Schnitzer, Roman Perez, Carlos Hernandez, Paulina Valero, and Cindy, a special shout out to you, who worked with both Alan and I on this presentation. I can tell you that's a challenge. Please check out our new and improved 2019 annual report available on our city website. Again, thanks to all of you for joining us today and to the Chamber for hosting this afternoon. I too would like to thank Bridget. Bridget's going off City Council. She's been my right hand as the Mayor Pro Tem. She's been an extraordinary council member, and I'd like to personally thank you. Amy. I'd also like to thank Amy Mitchell, who's been an integral part of our city council. She too, after 8 years, is going to leave us. I know they're going to continue to be active in the community. They may not be on city council, but they'll be active, and I know they'll continue to contribute to our great city. Thank you all for coming. And enjoy a safe afternoon.